We've got Toronto and London. Let's have a quick look at the game fuel. Keys to victory for Toronto Ultra. Hardpoint chance. It's got to improve. We're seeing low numbers from Methods and Classic. We need to get them stepping it up.
Yeah, and interesting enough, right? Like, this is a match that we have seen, 2 or 3 days ago. We are running it back, and in that series, Method specifically was dropping like a 1.5 in the hard point. So overall, he has not had the best go of it, but at least in this matchup, he had success. He's going to be that sort of X-Factor player in my mind. If he can turn his hard point game around, Toronto Ultra are going to be looking really good for those games 1 and 4.
Yeah, 1 and 4. We'll see how those go. Again, that's the hard point games. Toronto do have to try to regain, I suppose. You know, they came in from that winner's bracket, they took a big loss, and now they find themselves staring down the barrel of defeat. But for Kleenex, Classic, Methods, Cammy, and Bans, one more shot to keep themselves alive here in the tournament. Game fuel keys to victory now for the London Royal Ravens. They are 9 and 20 in domination this season, Chance. It may be a joke, it seems like a meme. The Twitter account certainly rides it that way, but that's a very serious stat line.
And the way I see that stat line as well is, like, in my mind, that is the one map we can call, like, just expecting Ultra outright to get that win. So if somehow the Ravens pull off that Game 3 victory, that is massive for them. But more importantly, if Game 3 has been a struggle, you cannot afford to go down 2-0. And so when I look at it, Toronto's weakest point or weakest map they really have in this series is that Game 2 Gunrunner Search and Destroy. That is a must-win for the Ravens to get that ball rolling, to make sure that they don't have any sort of things start to slip through the cracks.
No, indeed. Well, the London Royal Ravens, Scraps, Zero, Dylan, Shawnee, and Wuskins coming in off of a very, very big victory over the New York Subliners in that very exciting Game 5. But let's have a quick look at our predictions now, Chance, brought to you by the Sony Xperia smartphone. Cha-ching! Now, mate, this one's a tough one, because obviously I've got a lot of love for the Toronto Ultra. They've sent me some lovely PJs. I've got all sorts of stuff around lying on my desk that I haven't got the mug anymore. It's in the wash. But I'm a fan. I've loved their work so far. They've turned the season around in a really big way. But I'm actually going London, man. I think London have got the momentum going into this. I think it's a 3-2. I think they do definitely lose the domination, but I genuinely believe that the momentum coming in off the back of that New York Subliner series is going to carry London all the way home. It's coming home. What do you think, mate?
I mean, look, they did really start to turn things around against New York, right? The Ramaza Search and Destroy for that Game 5 they had was scorching hot, but I do disagree overall. I still think it's going Game 5, but I think by way of Toronto, I don't think they've quite hit their full potential, at least in this individual tournament yet. I think the looks they had back at their London home series was like prime Toronto Ultra. I think they're just like a nick away from that, and this is the series in my mind where they get that back after their loss yesterday, turn their tournament not around, because it's still going pretty well for the guys, but making sure that they can go forward. And if anyone's going to be hype, apparently that guy is going to be Methods. It's looking like he's screaming at his teammates right now.
Maybe, but here we go. Game 1. As we look across those two rosters, this certainly is the best of British Call of Duty. What a matchup this will be. Again, an elimination match. Losers going home. The winner will continue to advance onwards, but my goodness, Chance, it's been an exciting day of Call of Duty so far, mate, but we're far, far from finished. Here we go. The London Royal Ravens, Toronto Ultra, map number 1. Let's get into it.
And just by the way, right, this is the ultimate run it back, ball don't lie sort of series. The Ravens, they are thirsty right now to try to get their revenge against Ultra. It's the team that knocked them into the loser's bracket in one of the most heartbreaking ways possible. And by God, we know they're going to want revenge. And because the series is a run it back, some of the maps are as well. We've seen these two teams go with Gunrunner Hardpoint before. Last time Toronto Ultra pretty much teed off on them, beat them by 92 points.
92, and again we'll see if the Ravens can make full Congress throughout this one. Zero, nice kills going the way there of the Ravens off the rip. Scraps and Zero getting 2 apiece as their wings start to flutter and they catch a little bit of hardpoint time here. Still have to try to make the breakthrough towards second. That's where number 5 comes in. It's going to be Wuskins trying to make that rotation through the back. Zero on your screen makes his way forward, let one slip through, luckily doesn't let the kill happen. But Wuskins, he has managed to slip through, Chance. He has managed to make a little bit of noise, doesn't manage to get the kill. Toronto Ultra still sitting pretty, but the other half of the Marshall twins now, and it's managed to make it through the back.
And Toronto, by the way, have no idea. There's not a single white arrow on your screen searching for him in the slightest. So he's made it through, but it is on his teammates to at least start picking up 1 or 2 of these kills. Then he can try to make that play. And of course, his teammates right now just falling. He is just waiting for the moment. Maybe Zero pushing up the right side. Well, actually just takes down Kleenex. Now Scraps can strike, and now they know he's in the back of the Toronto. It is panic mode on the streets, well, of Gunrunner.
Panic is definitely the way to put it, my friend. Classic can find a couple of cleanup kills here in the rear. Bance is on the hard point. It's going to be Shawnee, though. Big man construction. He's going to be the last remaining member of the Ravens here now on the hard point. We do have the reinforcements start to pour through. Classic dispatches one. We've got a few more still arriving now, slowly but surely. But once again, Classic, a nice 2 kills. Very crucial kills just to make the back of the hard point safe. And it's a clean 5 for Toronto Ultra, who will be able to now push out London and maybe get the remaining 20 seconds.
And that is a very solid hold for them as well. Of course, anytime London, you get that guy in the back to make that hero play, things can be dicey, but maybe for these final 15 seconds, even if Toronto can't get them, which, hey, Vance is able to pick up a big 2 kills. The scrap time is good. Very solid hold. They make sure they lock down that rotation in spite of the play coming out from scraps. Of course, though, on this rotation over towards train tracks, you see that London's going to have that early advantage, and you see Vance is aware of that. He's trying to force himself all the way in the back just to start blocking these spawns.
And again, it's a good rotation here from the London Royal Ravens. We go straight towards the next hard point. Lovely shots from Shawnee. Gets Classic and Kleenex there with a bullet penetration kill. So a lovely 2-piece for him. It's not enough to get the reinforcements there in time, and it's going to be Methods. He was hyped before the match. Now he's pretty hyped because he finds one onto the hard point. There's going to be a contest now as the Ravens will force Ultra back for the time being. Trophies are up and about, but that one managed to slip through. Classic with a lovely kill there. Making his way forward, Dylan drops. The spawners from London still very close, but you can see those reinforcements now showing up for Toronto Ultra. Classic and Bance have slipped through, trying to flood these players out. And the Ravens identify them and make that transition over to the next hardpoint.
That transition is going to be a long way away. Toronto's going to be there early in Toronto, obviously, again. Pretty good for the scrap time. 2 hills back-to-back, or at least the final few seconds to go their way. And anytime you lose the rotation but end up getting, final 25, 30 seconds, you're feeling pretty good. But, of course, that amounts to a pretty small lead so far. But London, you can see that the road that they have ahead of them, fairly far away. Scraps, though, does get a very nice spawn, and Zero's going to be right behind him. He could potentially get some of these cut-off kills. The first one's going to fall, takes down Classic. Vance falls in short order with the help from his teammates, and you see London at the very least trying to make this dicey.
Yeah, dicey as they can, but Toronto Ultra starting to pull away with this one. Dylan trying to find these crossover kills as he makes his way through the middle of the map, finds one, hipfire is on point, doesn't manage to make the second work. It's going to be Zero now, flooding in on his own. Classic makes the read, cleans him up easily. Now a sigh of relief. A brief moment of reprieve where London are going to stop the push for now. Once again, good hit fire coming through from London. The break now is on, but again, 15 seconds. They want to find some kills, but you can see those 2 London players, number 2 and number 5 on the minimap. They are posted up on the defense, making sure that no one from Toronto Ultra makes their way through towards the next hardpoint.
And that's a great point as well, because that is a decent chunk of time, Toronto. They do have a little bit of a lead, but because of the pressure that was put on that last hill, Toronto, not too much pressure they're putting on New. And what a beautiful spawn if you're London Royal Ravens fans. The players for Toronto that were trying to push down tracks end up just getting shot in the back. Of course, though, it is a little bit scrappy. Vance might have been able to get through. Dylan's going to deal with him in short order, and frankly, well, it's a little bit just a bit of chaos. The split spawns coming in. Toronto now trying to flood in through this track side, and of course, London, well, they're spawning down by trees.
Under my trees. Now the front line of the London Royal Ravens. We will see a lead change in the next 30 seconds if they can hold on the point. It's going to be Bance, though, making the flank, making his way in from behind here. Cammy at the front door, and a coordinated effort may make this one work. Dylan keeps finding those kills. He finds another onto Cammy in the rear. Lovely work again. Methods now makes his name known. He's making his way in through the back of the hardpoint. Final 15 seconds, and we are seeing the rotation go down already, and it's a bit of a foot race towards the right-hand side of the map. But Shawnee, last man left standing there, gets the chicken dinner on the hardpoint. Number 2, once again, Zero. He's managed to make his way all the way out towards that far right-hand side. As the players start to repopulate throughout the middle, Zero playing the long game, going for those next balls.
Yeah, this is very far in advance, but we've seen sort of a similar play coming out earlier, right? Where Scraps gets behind enemy lines, Toronto not too aware. It doesn't really pan out in London's favor the previous time around, but you can see Toronto not hunting for him, but of course the spawns for London still coming in. So really, what I'm seeing here is effectively a 4v5 the Royal Ravens are having to take until those spawns start coming out. But Toronto, they crossed that 50-yard line, they pushed up too far, and the patience pays off. Zero, he waited for it, he put his teammates in a bit of a tough spot, but they saved it and made it work out beautifully. The spawns for New are theirs. The lead in the game is theirs. And frankly, the kills have been going their way too. Dylan leading the pack with 22 and Zero not very far behind.
Nah, he did great. He didn't manage to get that last one, but still a nice turn of pace here for the Royal Ravens. Ultra starting to slow down somewhat. They are going to get a decent amount of time here towards that middle of the hard point. Again, not an easy one to get time on in the center of the map, but we now have to make the break. Ravens now fortifying that side depot. Classic leading the charge. 18 kills overall as he makes his way forward. Shawnee can't get much more than damage before being taken down there from the side. And now Methods, beautiful shots at range. The defensive line will still hold from London. Hardpoint now in their hands. Keep the kills going, and they can start to push this lead forward.
I mean, it's a small lead, but also probably one of the biggest ones we've had this entire game. Only about 25 points for the moment, but Toronto Ultra, of course, to try to keep it back and forth, they're now inside the point. They got 2 bodies in and around the hill, and of course, London Royal Ravens had the exact same. Wuskins on the force free for the moment. He's going to get chopped, but the trades are there. It is chaos inside of the hill, and the Ravens effectively chalked it up, and they said, hey, we're going to trust our 1 or 2 teammates over for this scrap. Even if they're not successful, now they're going to be nice and secure for that rotation. They're going to be able to cover 4 aside. That's Zero's responsibility, and Trax, well, is the responsibility of pretty much the remainder of the Ravens. Players already set up anew, but of course, you see that scoreline, that back and forth game, effectively tied at the start of this hill.
What you're saying, Chance, I mean, London are playing the long game right now quite well. These good decisions of trying to get that hard point for next. You can let the 20 or so seconds go on the previous hard point to net yourselves 30, maybe 40 going forward. Here we go. Kleenex. Toronto Ultra now trying to go for the break. Shawnee Wuskins laid down there in the minecarts. The crossfire comes through, and it is a bolster now from Ultra. They have blitzed their way through the front lines. Zero, he managed to get 2. Cammy now posted up. It's going to be once again Shawnee, the big man from upstairs. Manages to jump the fence, get the nice kills. Bants now from behind, slip slides, finds himself a little bit of an assist. Scraps is up next, and it is an absolute fiesta on minecarts right now. Nades, shots, you name it, smokes. It's all being thrown in there. The bloody kitchen sink as Cammy, he comes in a little late. The smoke clears, and he gets himself 4 in a row. Still, Toronto Ultra, a little bit of time to garner here. Their lead may just change, Chance, but boy, it's a nice hard point we've got in our hands.
And neither team right now can get any decent chunk of time. It really hasn't mattered who's getting that rotation battle win. The scrap time pretty much always goes to the other team. It is always back and forth, and it's the exact same story we had before, where effectively a tied game going into this new hill. Right now, it's Toronto that had the favorable spawn, at least for this hill, but Cammy knows he needs to start pushing out, and you advance on the other side of the map doing the exact same thing, trying to put all this pressure on this rotation. And while that pressure is being put down, of course that means Toronto gets to soak up all of this time in the hill, take the lead back in their favor, and of course try to deal with Dylan as he flies into the hard point.
Not an easy thing to do, deal with Dylan, but everyone gives it their best shot. Kleenex catches Scraps there on the way forward. Wuskin unable to find anything there whatsoever with the M4. Sadly, Shawnee now making his way forward, and again it's an easy trades back and forth. Toronto Ultra coming out on top. London now will once again retain control of Warehouse, far left-hand side of the map. Methods throws a big peach over the top. Again, London, that 2-man on the defense, spawns now in their side. We are seeing Toronto Ultra start to walk away with this one. 10 seconds remaining, they will get all of this, but London lined up for the defense. A nice nade from Zero is going to catch 2, which is going to slow down the push for now, but the spawns there for those 2 players that died towards the north side of the map. It's going to fall down to Wuskin to take care of those coming through mine.
And Miles, this right here is the second most important hill of this game. Ravens obviously down by just over 20 points. They're going to need close to that full 60 to take the lead. And for Toronto, if they can get a break on this hill, it is going to be massive, and the push is here.
Well, here it comes. Zero, the front line managed to get 1. The doors bust wide open and Ultra fly in on the point. Shawnee now trying to get in on the contest. Finds the first tags. Wuskin's there. Shawnee finds another. Cammy on the trades. It's back and forth. It's like the stock market in here. As Cammy, he and Wuskin now going toe to toe, trying to clean out this point. Methods now getting involved as well. And London will finally catch the kills, and that will be a safe hard point for now. Zero, it falls now to him to keep back that front line and stop these players from Ultra getting through, but they just keep slipping by. They're so sneaky. Vance tries to find one there through the dodgy door. Shawnee now doing what he can on his final 10 seconds. A nice 2-piece for Shawnee. He will be able to push the lead back once again, but Chance, it's another set of hard points. It's another set of rotations, and it is a very close hard point game so far.
And Toronto may have screwed up because they let players on Ravens actually get through the back, but Kleenex now is going hunting. They know that Zero is in the back, Zero is up top, and of course for London, they're expecting Zero at some point is going to get hunted down and killed. They want as much time on this first hill as possible, and there's at least 1 body falling. Dylan's going to get dropped. Zero still staying alive, goes on a force free, and again, while he's doing that, his teammates have gotten so much time just on this first hill. Finally, Toronto's able to stabilize and get guys out of the hard point, but Royal Ravens keep sending players that are able to get through and sneak into the back.
A lot of time garnered on first hardpoint and the spawns for second. Ravens set themselves up for the win. Ultra have got to make the break here as clean as they possibly can. The next 17 seconds are great, but you still have to make the break on the next one, and it's Shawnee. Once again, the man is an absolute brick wall. 25-25 overall. He locks down the sides of that depot. And here we go. Classic trying to make his way forward. We're basically tied up as we go into this next hardpoint, which could well be the last. Classic now on the outsides of the hardpoint. It slips wide open, trying to make the entry now in from behind. How will the Ravens defense handle him? He is slip sliding, catches the first. If he can get any more, this would be huge. Classic. It is a hero play from the young man as he makes his way in. He's managed to get on the point. No more kills to be had. Ravens with the lead. They managed to make the hard point safe for now, Chance. And boy, oh boy, we're going back and forth. And this contest is huge. Again, keep an eye on the game clock. 1 minute 26-ish remaining. Who knows? We can see that one come down to the wire as well.
Look, both teams can still win it on this hill, but it has been looking like a ton of contest time. Ravens, though, the pressure's on them. The onus is on them to make the move, to get inside and contest for just a little bit longer. 12 seconds, and the game goes by way of Ultra.
Cammy, he just got a massive two-piece there on the hard point, and now Zero can't quite get in there from the side. It's a 5 seconds for the win. It's going to be on scraps. Matty Marshall's got to go, got to get in there, and it can't get it done. Toronto Ultra. They take map number 1 by 20. What a close hard point that really was.
And getting the ball rolling as well. Honestly, an incredibly impressive win for the Ultra, because there seemed to be 15, 16 different opportunities for London to try to take that advantage. It was especially on the previous hill to this one, or actually 2 hills ago, inside the money hill, where I was trying to say, like, this is the second most important hill. Yeah, just Toronto needs that one break. They effectively got that. They chunked away about 20 seconds of time, at least for the contest. But then when there was only 20 seconds left on the hill, they kept pushing, it kept flooding in, and London actually had the players. We saw Zero manage to get all the way to the back, trying to lock down those right side of the minimap spawns, and he was able to do so, right? He goes on the 4 spree. He had Dylan there for the help, and eventually London Royal Ravens got it, but they just could not hold on. So in my mind, Ultra dropped the ball just a little bit on the rotation battle. Ravens were constantly trying to be ahead of the game, making those investments, but when it came down to it, those gunfights inside the hill always ended up going by way of Toronto, and just enough to squeak by with that win.
What a squeak it really was. Well, the quick scope now brought to you by the US Air Force will show the tale of these two teams. And again, it's been a long season for both of them. It's been a little bit up and down at times, but now one of them will move on further here in Champs. And again, you look at those overall games, it goes to Toronto Ultra, and you have to think, Chance, that late season resurgence from the squad has really not only got them this far in this tournament, but it's also got them this far in the season.
And this is the most important time to kind of kick that upright. But of course, with that U.S. Air Force quickscope, you can see just how close and comparable these teams really are. And funnily enough, when you look at their records just from Champs alone, both of these guys had a 4-2 record in Hardpoint. Obviously, that map right there came down to the wire. But this is where we start to get a little bit weird with the flip-flops, right? Going into Search and Destroy, London is 3-1 so far at Champs. Toronto, 1-3. And that, of course, is the first part of why this Gunrunner S&D is so important for the Ravens. The other 50% of why it's so important is the Gunrunner domination. Right now at Champs, London is 0-3 in domination. Toronto is perfect at 3-0. So if the Ravens do not pull off this map 2, that is going to be one of the most difficult maps these guys will have all year. So it is an immediate bounce back that, in my mind, is necessary for London.
A must win for London. I think we can all agree on that one. Gunrunner domination is not what we want. But what we do want is our Grubhub picks of the day. That's right, you knew it was coming. It will be the last one here in playoffs, Chance. I've been enjoying it thoroughly with you throughout the season, my friend. It has been a bloody treat, I'll tell you that much. I went with methods, man. Chef Tony is going to be cooking up something special here, even though I think London may get the win overall. I mean, they've got to win this set. But at the same time, I think it's a good call, mate. Kleenex for you, though, dude. A wonderful decision.
I mean, I'd say overall, Kleenex is just having the best Champs performance for his team right now. Even on a map like Gunrunner, he at least did his job. He's always been sort of a shining light. And even going into the Gunrunner S&D, Kleenex, like, that is he is one of the best KDs on his team for the map. He has been the biggest reasons why they've had a ton of success. And again, it's Champs time. He had a ton of success at this tournament last year. He needs to have the exact same level or more production this year to help push his team over the edge.
He's a Champs player, man. Kleenex is he's a big time Champs player. Okay, so It's now time for our pictures chance. It's now time for what we had for grub. I went to a great place called Blue Plate Taco. I didn't go there, but I had it sent my way. It was a lovely lobster taco with a bit of a truffle oil in there. We also went for the Baja fish on the side with a nice bit of seasoning. We took this picture. I am decked out in the swag. Peep the socks as well. I got the Atlanta Phase jacket on, the Game Fuel Alt Special. I got the Ultra as Funk t-shirt, and the Ravens are on the socks, brother. Peep that shot, baby. I mean, I know it's not that nice to have my feet so close to food, and don't even ask me about the AstroTurf covering my
Look, Miles, I'm running out of ideas, so I have to sort of go back to Old Faithful and just get you as close to me as possible and bring up just the sexy picture, honestly, that you have. I think the Game Fuel looks great. I will say, the lemonade wasn't really that good, kind of subpar, but the food was delicious. Effectively, those are like little pizza rolls, so it's not straight up pizza, but it's pretty close to it. I'm running out of ideas, and I saw yours at like 9 o'clock last night, and I was going to send some like very basic stuff, and I was like, I just want to prepare for champs. Like, I just want to get work for our series done, but now I have to go and take photos of my food, and I have to at least try to make it look good. So it's not innovative in the slightest. I didn't put as much effort into it you did, but I hope it does okay.
No one said being my partner was going to be easy, mate. Well, that's it. Again, Grubhub doing what they can to support local businesses from the times of 5 until 9 in your time zone. They're giving you $10 off orders of $30 or more. Grubhub, get in the perks section of the app. Get yourself some good food. Try to help each other out during these trying times. And you know what? When this time's done, still order food. Because food's great. Who loves food? Miles does. So does Chance, evidently. And who loves Game Fuel and pictures of Miles? Chance. Mate, I love it, though. I really do. Anyway. Oh, that could be it, Chance. That could be the last Grubhub picks for a while. Who knows? I've got no idea what's coming up at Champs. I don't know what's up the production sleeve, but here we go, brother. Search and destroy. And this is an important one for the Royal Ravens. Game number 2. And don't forget, while still on the topic of food, if we go all the way to around 11, Chipotle burritos, get in chat. Exclamation mark, Chipotle. Here we go, Chance. We discussed how important this one is overall of the series here for the London Royal Ravens. Toronto Ultra put themselves up 2-0 in this series, and if the numbers are right, you can basically call it a win. You can basically call it a 3-0.
It would be a tough road ahead, but the good news is, of course, the domination. Not a great look for the Ravens, but this map actually is 6-4 record, not too bad. Scraps actually has the second highest overall KD of any player in the CDL on this map. He is barely behind Celium, and that is a great list to be a part of. Of course, though, Classic gets that first blood strike to open up the round.
Yeah, nice read. Wallbang not quite there, doesn't run FMJ. I know quite a few players have run FMJ throughout the course of the tournament. Very naughty spots to fire bullets through, but overall with Shawnee now. Puts a peach, up it goes. Doesn't land whatsoever, but we are seeing that presence towards B. It's Zero making his way in very slowly towards a bomb site, and with that, maybe an opportunity to create some pressure. Vance finds another kill, and that's going to be Scraps taken out. Oh, Shawnee just catches the cheeks of Cammy. Will he be able to get the kill? The trade should surely be there, and it is. It's all down to Wuskins in a 1 versus 4. And this has been a rough one, Chance. London have not really had an answer to anything Toronto are throwing their way.
Not in the slightest. And you see Weston's going to fall as well. That was a very clean and comfortable round for Toronto Ultra, right? Classic goes hunting. He finds that first blood. And honestly, almost the exact same way that he finds the final kill. Cheeky little spot coming in to take those players down in green. And of course, as soon as he gets that kill, he backs up, plays his life. And when you have the man advantage, especially on a map like this, pretty easy to stabilize. You just have to make sure you watch the flank. Vance had it covered, takes down Zero. And then at that point, 3v5, you don't even have the sniper on your team. Incredibly difficult to make a play for that early round for Toronto Ultra. Just trying to keep that ball rolling.
Ultra now on offense. Trades do not go the way of London. It's a big start from Ultra. Scraps manages to find one. Doesn't quite make it even Stevens just yet, and it's on Methods now, trying to get through the bathrooms. Dylan. In and out of the showers he goes. Just down by this low water position, able to watch anyone crossing through pipes. But again, at the top of this ramp, left, right, he's got to check both those positions. And there are Toronto players everywhere. But if he guesses correct, kill could go his way. There it is. Spotted Classic. Beautiful tags and a kill through the wall. Zero finds another one as well. And now it's a 3v2. Cammy could level the playing field, though, with a powerful snipe. There's remaining defenders there for London. As Kleenex now pressures them, and they're in showers. And, oh, it's a big kill chance. Cammy in the 1 versus 3.
Doesn't hit the shot either, so that 1v3 does not get made easier, and that bomb down in one of the worst positions on the map. If you don't pop dead silence and you step a foot into the water, you're going to die. And more importantly, if Zero has the angle, you're going to die that way too. Nice little spot coming in. A couple players have been able to show that off through the year. That is honestly a very nice bounce back round for the Ravens, right? They get first blooded, still find a way to convert. And funnily enough, on one of the most offensively sided maps we have in Search and Destroy in Modern Warfare, now 2 defensive rounds in a row, in spite of the first blood category. So on the side of the Ravens, I want to go back to Old Faithful, try to get the standard play, just find a way to get some smokes out, get that bomb down at B. Let Wuskins just watch over with the sniper in his back pocket.
We may just be getting treated to that now. Zero once again going back towards that A side. And there it is. Catches the first. The HDR of Wuskins has been one of legend throughout the entire season. Here at Champs, no different. Finds the first. Ties it up. Kleenex finds another there, and another beautiful shot from Wuskins. That's 2 for 2 so far. Now slow and steady. There's London. Still have to recover that bomb, and still have to try to make a play. There it is. Scraps will recover. It looks like London may be turtling up now, just to try to group up, try to find another kill in this 3v4 situation. 45 on the clock.
Honestly, potentially just waiting for Wuskins to get another pick if he starts to encroach up on the crates area. Scraps, though, might just barely be able to see Classic.
He can just see it. Classic could also see him. Scraps would move, run. Classic had the same idea. Everyone filled their britches in that moment. Classic now in a lot of trouble. He double dipped, went straight back to that position. Wuskin goes down in the back. The sniper's done. He moved his way forward. Methods finds 2. Methods finds another, and it's a 3 versus 2 now. Scraps has now got to make his way forward. 14 seconds on the clock. The tags are there. Brilliant read from Methods once again. Toronto, the comms saved the day in the last moments of the round.
And obviously, shout out to Methods. He's the guy that made that play that opened up the round, finding those 2 kills and the final one as well. But frankly, I just appreciate the aggression coming out of Toronto Ultra. Even after they got sniped on crates, they still afforded themselves and pushed up, had a little bit of control over towards you. And even when these players were falling, you could see how passive that the London Royal Ravens were playing. They didn't have any sort of map control. It took them a very long time to start pushing up. As long as Wuskin stopped hitting the shots, Methods, easy cleanup kills for him. 2-1 lead is a happy place for Toronto to be.
Another defensive round. Another win. What is going on? This isn't the gun runner we've all been trained to believe it is. One's going to be going down. It's a B plant. London should be able to know this is coming. Scraps definitely saw some of these ankles as they flew by their bands now, maybe going for Shawnee. The trophies go down. Dylan finds a nice 2-piece there. That's a great way to start the round of Kleenex. Methods, they answer straight back. And Kleenex is going to find another. Just like that. It's a 1 versus 2. Kleenex now with 30 seconds left to get on top of that bomb. Wuskin's going to be going for the defuse. Kleenex is charging right through the smoke. He's going to jump straight onto the bomb, but the defuse may be there. The ninja himself gets it done. The kill was there just in case. Ravens answer back 2-2.
And defense is king, apparently, but honestly, just a great play call towards the end. The smoke that I think it was actually Kleenex that tossed it out. Shawnee was just like, well, I know where he just was. I know the only play that he could possibly make is to run right into my line of sight, hop the bomb, and I got you. It's not a problem at all. Kleenex tried to do the best little circle dance he could around the crates, but it simply makes no difference. The first time we've actually seen the bomb get planted, normally there is a ton of success you have with the post plant on offense. Of course, you even have the snipers really on both sides. Wuskins has only been upon 2. But Cammy right now sitting at 0-4. Kleenex gets first blooded as well.
First blood once again. Classic. He's so aggressive, man. 4-2 overall. Just trying to get those early kills. Trying to catch London out in a position where they would not expect him to be. Dylan now slowing this one right down. Once again, hoping for Wuskin to find a snipe. Sort of back of the big truck to his right-hand side now. He's in the far, far position. But number 9, Cammy. Cammy's like, look, Zero's been going A every time. I'm going to wait for something. He's going to wait in pipes here. Maybe catch him out. But there's movement from London towards the south side of the map. In towards the B site they go. This is the only player watching the cross from that top of the water ramp, and if Wuskin could pick him with the snipe, that'd be ideal. But again, you've got opportunity to make this one happen. Zero now, dead silence, complete change of position, reposition entirely. He hasn't actually managed to catch anyone with this one yet. The bomb's gone down, and here comes the poke. Classic finally gets the kill he searched for. 40 seconds on the bomb, and now the battle begins, Chance. 3 versus 3.
Zero just needs to stay alive, but he's got players pushing through tracks. But as long as he's alive and Bance with the wall bangs connects to take him down, it makes Toronto's job a little bit easier. But 25 seconds left and Bance gets obliterated. Time is ticking and Toronto's trying to fly. Methods with the push-up on the rock, able to connect with one, and Wuskins, last alive, just needs to kill the man off bomb. He's creeping up with the pistol, gonna shoot him in the back and plays his life. 12 seconds, the hunt is on. Classic's trying to sprint around the corner. The gunfight connects, but the time is not there. He reloaded for a moment instead of hopping the bomb, and even if he didn't, I think Wuskins made just perfect enough of a play to waste just enough time with the laydown back behind the crates. A dicey round coming in for the Ravens, but the first offensive round when we see connects, and Wuskins again played it like an expert. Take your time, lay down behind the oil rig, make sure you can just waste as much time as possible, take down Methods, and then hide. Force Classic to have to chase you down, to swing all the way around and just simply not give him a winnable play. Massive round for Ravens.
That was huge. Wuskins, mate, I thought there was a fraction of a second there where it could have gone either way. Here we go once again. Shawnee, a nice 2 to start the round. Ultra's aggression has been thwarted. Ant's now trying to slow this one down. MP5 and M4 in hand now, trying to just retake some of that mid-map control. Oh, wow, his timing was just off. The tags were there on the scraps, but that player from up high, he could have honestly got the kill. Shawnee finds kill number 3 of the round so far. Shawnee finds kill number 4 of the round so far. It's all on the Methods in this 1 versus 5. Shawnee the builder. Can he fix it? Go on, Shawnee. Go on, Shawnee! No! Ravens get the round, but Shawnee does not get the ace. 4-2, and Chance, you said the Ravens desperately need this map. 4-2. It's looking good for them so far.
I mean, this is back against the wall again. I know it's only 2 maps in this series, but just the way Domination has been going for them, this is very close to being like, if you lose this, your champs and year is going to be over. In a very aggressive round, and also do appreciate the Methods play towards the end. Throw away your life, make sure you die as quickly as possible in a 1v5. The clutch is not going to happen in a situation like that. Make sure the other players don't get their trophies, don't get their dead silence, and more importantly, next round, Ravens hyper aggressive towards A. Vance is all the way in the back, but right now, that lone man, Toronto, trying to return over towards this site.
Well, there's a gunfight towards the back of the map. It was on Vance. Shawnee once again has a big kill. Vance wins 1. Zero cuts him down as he tries to scurry away. Shawnee's 5th in a row there. And the battle rages. Methods manages to win 1 there. And again, the bomb. Let's get armed. Dylan, he gets nothing there if the bomb goes down, but he loses his life in the process. And now it's on the 0. Classic just like another dead silence play and beautiful timing from Zero. Now it's a 1 versus 1. E versus Methods. 30 seconds on the bomb. Slip slides out. Zero gets it. London Royal Ravens map point.
With just the aggression as well, not just for Zero at the end, that of course, well, needs to check the bomb. The stun check is nice, but you gotta be sure, and just flies at Methods, takes him down in the gunfight, but also the play call. We have turtled up in our base round after round after round. No one's really been super aggressive on the flanks, so we know if they're at that A site, they're gonna be passive. That was Vance's role all the way up on top of the building. And they just hit it. They just go as fast as possible. And Toronto says, anything you can do, we can try and do better. The exact same situation, aggression towards A.
Here we go. The Wait Zero's made the read. The first kill on the Vance. That's massive. Damage already dealt. Methods cuts the players off throughout the middle of the pipes. That's going to make one of the flanks safe for now. Plenty of London players in and about. Cammy sifts them out. Catches the one. Oh, Cammy! What a kill that was. Shawnee now. 1 versus 3. What can he do? He's very quiet, but not quiet enough. Methods can hear him. And it's going to be the big kill with the MP5 at range to get it done. Toronto, a lifeline has been found. 5-3.
And talk about Cammy, by the way, as well. Goes from, I think, 0-6, 1-7, something in that capacity, to just hucking scraps to sleep, at least with that one specific gunfight. Big 2 kills, and again, the confidence to be able to make that call of like, hey, we just had the hyper-aggressive A push come to hit us. Let's do the exact same thing. Just fly, just be aggressive. The sniper rifle has not been panning out right now for Cammy. Put the gun in his hands and run. The Ravens are happy about it. They're going right back to this A side.
Here we go. Straight back in. Dylan's going to lead the charge, but once again, they have made the hard read on the defense. And Dills, he's in, man, he's in. He's like, I've got the bomb down, it can go on and go, get it planted, let's go, boys, the fight is on. He hesitated for a moment. Kleenex finds the kill. That first blood makes it real interesting. Bance shooting very straight down that long range, and watch out for the flank. Now Toronto's on it. Scraps is the only player who can maybe watch this one. He's maybe the only player who can catch one. That's beautiful work. As the second there to be found, it's on Kleenex. Does get it. Kleenex finds it. It's on Shorty and Waskins now in this 2 versus 4. London looking a little bit ropey. They are pinned now in the back end of lockers and the backside here of the minecarts, but they have to recover the bomb. And they've got 4 members of Ultra to deal with.
Toronto really should know. They don't have to push at all. They just need to post up and hang out. Maybe Kleenex gives his position away, but doesn't make a bit of a difference. 25 seconds left. That bomb down in a horrible spot. Toronto Ultra right now, just coordinated, just focused on it. Shawnee trying to make the play to get nearby, but he's one shot and can barely move. Anywhere he goes, he's going to get killed. Methods is the player to take him down, and Waskins has been in this situation so many times throughout the year on this team. Last man standing in a hopeless situation with no time on the clock. Deja vu all over again. He's going to get taken down in 2 rounds in a row now. The Toronto Ultra trying to work on this comeback. And frankly, I kind of want to know what sort of strat they're going to be running on offense, obviously just to progress the game, but we've had quite a few heavy A hits hit back to back to back from both of these teams. And anytime Toronto's been working over this B site, the sniper rifle hasn't had a ton of production, no sniper in hand, but they are going back to that B site. Had success with getting the bomb down before, not so much with the actual conversion.
B hit now, Ultra. They're in. Beautiful nade from Shawnee and Dylan. A couple of sweet nades. Done with the first blood. The bomb goes down though. 4 versus 3. Kleenex with this dead silence, man. He's on the hunt. Kleenex is an absolute warrior. Makes his way forward. The kill just about comes through from Waskin. Old Lead Boots gets involved. Classic now on the bomb site. A lovely kill with 30 seconds now remaining. Classic can't find any more. And the Ravens now starting to flock. They are making their way onto the site, but it is into Cammy. It's into the jaws of Cammy, but Scraps, he climbs right out, finds the kill, and the defuse is there. They're going to be firing their guns in the air. That is that. Panic is over, Chance. The Royal Ravens take the search and destroy 6-4. We tie the series up 1-1.
And now they can breathe at least a mini sigh of relief. You get past the Gunrunner S&D. It was a must-win map. They absolutely convert, but that doesn't really mean the series gets any easier for really either of these teams. Or Gunner we're going to have later on, but honestly, just a hell of a game towards the end. A bunch of aggressive play calls coming out of the side of the Ravens. And importantly, towards the end, it's just those nades coming in. You open the round with a double kill from 2 different players with the frag grenades. It just makes your job incredibly easy. So the strategy was there, and the clutches were there for the Ravens as well. Shawnee able to throw up 11 on board. Had no idea there was a construction site on this map, but he's been going big pretty consistently for his team today.
He really has, mate. Wonderful stuff, either way, from both teams. That was a really cerebral game of Search and Destroy, man. We saw a lot of strategy being involved there. We saw both teams making great guesses and great reads, and overall, a wonderful game to watch. London tied the series up 1-1. We do have our US Army tactical play now at the ready. Round 4, I believe. And this was, again, another fine example, Chance, of big brain plays from either side of the board.
I just got to try to remember which exactly won this one. 5v5 we have off the rip. This was the bomb plant there. I think the retake comes in. 3v5 right now that the instant trades. There's the Kleenex play. I remember this now. It was Kleenex has to force out to get kills, and even though he gets the double kill, all of his teammates ended up falling around him, and then it was just, well, the bomb's planted on the other side. I don't have any time to go and make this play, and Shawnee with the perfect coverage over the rock. But even still, Shawnee could have lost that gunfight somehow in the round just because of the play call to hop the bomb. Would have been won by the Ravens anyway. Just a very solid retake. And you're talking about the strategy of it. That just seemed blazing quick to me. Every single round, it seemed like, outside of maybe 2 offensive rounds the Ravens had, started and was over in about 45 seconds. But fantastic stuff for the bounce back game for the Ravens.
Wonderful stuff either way. Again, we are now tied up 1-1 in this knockout matchup. Again, all the European fans watching from back home, we know it's late, but don't worry, we're getting through this one. When we come back after the break, Domination on Gunrunner. You don't want to miss it.
don't think Toronto's going to be ready for this.
That is quite literally worst case scenario if you're Ultra.
Toronto, they're meant to lose this game.
Toronto have not quite had what it takes.
And he goes huge for Ultra, and they get their first home series victory. What a map 5 it was.
After a year of disappointment, Toronto Ultra, Cinderella's going to the ball.
Scuff Gaming, the official controller of the Call of Duty League. Call of Duty League is brought to you by Metro by T-Mobile. Rule your day with the #1 brand in prepaid. The United States Air Force. Learn more at airforce.com. Save money at the restaurants you love with Grubhub Perks. Use code CDL Playoffs at checkout to get free delivery.
In every battle, there is a moment. Most don't even see it. But for others, it's all they see.
And there's the hype. How many men has he got to run through? That was just easy. Dominance. They did it.
Here, on the ultimate proving grounds, Call of Duty's Elite converge. When that moment stares you in the face, you'll know one thing. Glory isn't given. Glory isn't easy. Glory is taken.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Call of Duty League. We are now almost ready to rock and roll into our domination on Gunrunner. But before we get into domination, which apparently, if the stars align and if the stats are correct, it may well be quite predictable, quite open and shut. One thing we can guarantee is not predictable here in the Call of Duty League is its on-air talent. We have another little video for you guys. This is the Astrocaster comms. For better or for worse, this is some of the stuff that's been caught on camera of basically all of us.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
Make of their finish here at their home series.
Okay.
Oh, no. Is that a warning?
Fire alarm, guys.
It's too late here. It's a fire alarm.
Mac joined the team and he's hot.
Yo, Mac's gonna be frying, man. You hear this? Shout out Mac Notes. All right, guys. I'll be back. I'm gonna go outside.
Yeah. You're actually gonna do this.
Oh, Joe! It tastes horrible, Joe!
So let's take a look right now at the tweet and see exactly what he was talking about.
Oh, you guys got jokes.
Got ya!
$4.5 million. Indeed. Right. We managed to dodge the bullet there. We got out of that one. Here's the thing, right? I'm not sure if we've talked about this before. How come when Clint poured all that sauce all over his face, the first thing he did was scream, "Oh, Joe"? That's kind of weird. And the more I think about that, the more and more I see it. Enough of that shenanigans. Toronto Ultra London Royal Ravens map number 3 is on its way. Everyone's staying in the zone, getting through this one. Again, chance you call this, but the domination should be relatively open and shut. Toronto Ultra's record, especially on Gunrunner Dom, hell of a lot better than London's.
I think habit is the word you're looking for there for that explanation. But of course, the habit we've had from these two teams on this game 3. Toronto so far champs 3-0. They've been incredible. And of course, the opposite is true for the London Royal Ravens. 0-3 so far at champs, the second worst overall domination record on this year. But of course, all of this is just the setup, right? Of like everyone going into the series, at least on the Toronto Ultra side, I think most of the fans are expecting Toronto to win this. And even if they pull that off, London Royal Ravens still have a very good chance at the rest of the series because they've been dealing with these game 3 losses all year long. But if the Ravens can pull off this win, you talk about a massive momentum shift, how excited these players are going to be and amped up and ready to go. And of course, how many times do you think these guys can lose in a row? No one beats them 4 times in a row. That's what I'm going with, Miles. That's my guess.
We've seen weirder stuff happen in the CDL, like long losing streaks and whatnot, but wow, London Royal Ravens to pick up a win on Domination Gun Runner, this would be an upset. Dylan has just done about 9,500 steps there without seeing a single player. That's real bad COD timing. I mean, a good thing he's got a lot more steps left in him. Still staying alive, finding his kills, but again, pressure on A. C-Flag's about to have a naughty little 1v1 fight, which I think Kleenex he does. He comes out on top. Classic manages to make this one safe as well, so that's going to be A cleared, C made neutral. Ravens now, a little bit of work to do to get themselves back into this.
And we saw Toronto do this yesterday. Oh, yeah, by the way, Scratch, I'm assuming he just spawned there, right?
Yes, there's a split. He spawned at A, and the 3 others spawned top right at C. Well, hey!
Look, if there's any way they're going to win this game, they're going to need a couple of those, right? Like, we have seen the AC hold come in for Toronto so many times where they just run the score up, and Scraps maybe can make the play, finds 1 kill, and you see he's drawing these Ultra players back in his teammates. The reinforcements are actually here. They're trying to go for the flood. Unfortunately for them, they have to deal with Methods, who was able to pick up 2, and the third one just walks into his gunfire. So a massive opportunity there for the Ravens. Method shuts at least that first push down, but of course those spawns still coming in at A for the Ravens, trying to fly on that flag.
Toronto, again, they should have the advantage in this map and mode. However, we'll find out straight from the horse's mouth. It's now time for an Astro Gaming Listen In with Toronto Ultra.
Weak. One's elbow and 2 boiler.
One's camping A,
Two boxes.
Should we go deep A?
Camping A, one's camping A. Johnny's elbow. He was elbow.
I'm going crate here.
Oh, one's P3. Hit him. Johnny's gonna be hit out. Yeah.
So half behind me, I think.
Yo, absolutely.
You and you dead.
Johnny's
I'll move your camera.
Wheel dead.
P3.
Yeah, fuck green.
P3, 1 shot, nice, 1 more.
In you right now.
Nice,
You.
Yeah,
Boiler flat.
Weak, boiler flat, going in boiler.
Went on mid.
He's probably gonna pinch elbow, here.
I spawned close secret.
He's in boiler.
Yeah, Van Dylan dead.
I got the smoke. I got my smoke
They're
down.
gonna be P3, yep.
I'm doubling the suite.
I don't have a trophy.
Native
Ben,
me.
Ben,
Yeah, we double native me.
Mid going water or something like that. I think he's
Yeah, 2 on B, 2 on B. Let's
Yeah,
Sinking go.
let's go deep A.
Careful, they could see you on the P3 heady.
I died with a nade.
You spawn P3, they're gonna spawn
yeah,
P3.
he's secret. Or
Hey, dead.
they smoke C.
Smoke C, they're on C.
One C.
I spawned water tower.
Dylan on C.
In green, inside green.
On C, dead.
One more. Sean. Pretty sure you're looking at Sean.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Crates. Watching crates.
P5 and P5 and
Open
P5
crate,
tray.
open crate, dead.
P5
What we
tray,
doing here?
P5 tray.
Yeah.
Let's play, let's play.
I'm gonna go work secret.
Green alley, Scraps dead.
Nice.
With me?
Be close right, Toby.
Hey, he's in vent.
Even we
Dylan's in vent.
Bombs from Ultra, relatively clean, relatively calm, but chance of all things. Ravens really making a statement here in the first half.
I mean, I think they had, maybe 1 good opportunity to get that A push, and they ended up taking full advantage despite the play that Methods originally was able to make. And since then, so far, so good. On that B flag, though, there is Clastic still there. Wuskins deals with him in short order, and Wuskins, by the way, on a 6 spree. He is one of the perfect examples of an AR. If you can get him in the good positions, he is going to fry, but it's a matter of making him get that setup. And, of course, this is exactly what they want. He's never going to leave this little corner of the map unless he is forced to. And again, that 6 spree, just keep it in the back of your mind. I imagine he's going to try to run it up just a little bit higher.
I was going to say the exact opposite of a player is Dylan, who's going to be running straight at you and giving you nothing but the hands. Wuskin is a happy boy when he doesn't have to move a whole lot, and he's looking good so far. Dylan not able to catch that player out as he now makes his way in towards B. That could be an opportunity now for Ultra to get something going, and 0-0-0. Nice patience. The trigger finger there. He's going to make that C flag a little bit more annoying. If he can win his 1v1 over here as well, potential in there to neutralize C. Nope, who was that creeping and hiding in the cubicle? It was Methods. OB washed his hands before he left that bathroom because he committed murder in there. Bans now making his way in towards the A flag. And this has been a really nice turn of events now for Toronto Ultra. Sadly, Bance can't make any more of it as London reinforcements now flood out. Through the smoke we go onto the B flag, and it's going to be a push now from Cammy, who can't make much more of it as once again, the defense chance from London holds.
And they're going to be good, right? 20 seconds left. It's going to be maybe a last-ditch effort attempt to maybe make the play over towards B, but while that's happening, Wuskins trying to make that last-ditch effort over towards the C flag. He gets dealt with, but with 10 seconds left, that just means 2 final ticks. And I would have to imagine, even if the team is able to secure B towards the end, doesn't make that much of a difference. And we're going to have a nearly 30-point game in advantage of the Royal Ravens. The last time these two teams played, which was just a few days ago, again, you know that players like Zero want nothing more than revenge, and how sweet it could be if one of the map wins you get would be that gun runner domination. Because last time they lost it by 42 points. It was not a clean look, but this time, very sizable advantage. And frankly, as far as I'm concerned for the Ravens, right, they're spawning over towards that A flag. This is the side that they want to be on. Not only is this their game to lose, but as long as they have at least a halfway decent opening break, they're going to put themselves in a very strong spot to go up 2-1 in the series.
Well, London, we don't want to see them throw any leads. That's what they've liked to have done all season long, but let's listen to the comms and see how far they can go with this one. Now it's time for an Astro Gaming Listen In with the London Royal Ravens.
Hit me. Be on me. One more. One shot. Bathroom. Down to mid. You. You're near deep tracks. You and deep tracks. Straight on you, Dill. Nice. Deep tracks. Keep it going. You. Water was one. Okay. I won't fight B. I'm not going to see him fighting B.
He's on the heady.
I need to lock us out. I'm the greatest.
I'm beating one shot.
In it. Okay, fine. You on it, guys.
You can play P3 again.
Work C quick while they're focusing up.
I'm P3 already. Nothing's P3 yet.
Nothing's you.
Be annoying.
I'm dead. We got choke there. Outside bathrooms, back bathrooms. Go on, P3, guys.
Keep going.
Deep C. Yeah, go together. Evan, focus, I think. You dead. Bathroom. That's the one. I'm bathroom. We can go. Be here. I need a P3. Back right train, mate.
P3 somewhere. Back left. Can it clean next week?
Nice.
Good trade.
One from two.
One C.
I'm jumping the spot. You. Join me, guys. You be lockers. Absolute back right.
Well, it sounds like an auctioneer's house somewhere up north, but it's doing all right so far. Chance the London Royal Ravens getting themselves trying to keep the lead. You said there was a bit of a shaky moment there. Of course, we saw Dylan with a wild 2-piece on Classic. What did you say? You were like, "Oh, that happened on stream."
Okay. Hey, there's things we say when we're not actually casting that are normally a little bit meaner than when we're live, when we're trying to give credence. But hey, even if you're getting gunned at time, you still get that B flag back. It was a 30-point deficit for Toronto when they came in this half, and they've done a pretty good job of at least chipping away at it. But of course, they're still down by 20. It is still a very tough spot.
Yeah, tough spot to get out of now. You can see the positioning right now for Toronto Ultra, trying to keep London pinned. Zero's trying to make his way out in towards that C flag. He's been the man to overextend pretty much every single flag. Classic now trying to keep the top side of the map safe. Scraps actually gets it done with a concussion grenade. Bang, and his head flew off there. And Zero finally managed to find that opening. The lane now is there. There's one player left there on the C flag defense. Now it looks like we may see Toronto again spawning at the top side of the map. They've got the opportunity to reinforce either C or try to overextend, maybe keep those players by B side. I mean, B is it's unpenetrable right now. This is the tension here. It's Cammy versus Scraps. Concussions are out, but that top side of the map by B, I mean, no one's getting near it. Cammy with a big win. Cammy can't get any more. Now it's on the Scraps, makes his way forward. Plenty of players to deal with those. Scraps gets the second. You get the neutral. That's big. Get the grab as well. Is his teammate going to win the fight on the inside of the bathrooms there? Shawnee, no, the nades come through. Chance a minute 45 left on the clock. London.
Johnny makes a big play as well, by the way, and Wuskins making plays at B. The Ravens, they are all over the map right now. They are trying to get the secure minute and 40 left. They had that AC flag. There is a spawn out for Cammy over towards A, but the Ravens already intentionally trying to backtrack and hold on to that, but still it is what, a 20-point game. Ultra, they're going to have to get at least 2 flags very quickly, or the pressure is going to be on, and the triple cap might become necessary.
Cammy wins another big one. Finds himself 2 there right off the spawn. He's made the most of this blessed opportunity. Still keeps the London players at bay. They're going to now make their way in towards that A flag. If they can, it looks like they're routing it through B, but they've got to find those kills as well. And that's exactly what Bance is trying to stop. It's going to be trades back and forth. They're on that B flag. in on towards pipes, and it really is a trade fest right now. Number 6, though, Kleenex has made his way all in towards C. We've still got this 2-flag hold right now for Toronto, and they've got a minute now left in the game to potentially turn this one around, Chance.
Yeah, the problem is Toronto need more. They're going to have to get at least a neutralization on B or the cap, depending on how long it's going to take them. The play is trying to be here. Shawnee, though, on the defensive end, and you can see all of the teammates, everyone for the Ravens effectively flooding over towards B, and maybe Wuskin's trying to be knowing over towards the C flag, but Toronto have that covered, but they don't have this B flag at all. Shawnee is just getting those spawn kills, tearing them up, and with 30 seconds left, the Ravens are trying to get it done.
Shawnee still getting kills, the neutral on A, just like that with the remaining 25. Shawnee goes huge. Kleenex and Classic, they managed to get these final kills, but that may be it, dude. That was a brilliant run from the Ravens. And Chance, as far as I'm concerned, this is a huge upset in the series. The Domination should, by all accounts, have gone the way of Toronto Ultra. But London Royal Ravens, when it matters most, they pick up a huge win in the Dom. Ravens take the lead in the series, 2-1.
Getting that job done. This is almost the opposite of what we saw just a few days ago when these two teams played. The adjustments have been made, the bigger plays and bigger spawns as well, at least for Scraps coming in. But you talk about the massive shift. In my mind, it's not, you never count any team out. Obviously, they can get the win, but I was thinking 85% sure Toronto was going to get this map, and the bounce back was going to be that much more difficult. So for Ravens fan, they have to be incredibly happy for the moment. But of course, still a very long way to go. You still need another map win. You either have to do it on the St. Petrograd map 4 that we have, and we just saw how close the first Hardpoint was. It was a 20-point discrepancy between these two teams. And even if we go to a game 5, neither of these teams are too shabby at Ramaza either. Of course, for London, they're just looking for that revenge.
Revenge. Again, this is a rematch from a previous matchup here in playoffs. So far, Toronto did manage to get the win the first time round, and it wasn't the way they wanted that win, but now we've got a true series on our hands. Another hard point coming up next. Petrograd is going to be on, and oh boy, man, Chance, that was an upset, man. There's no two ways of looking at it. I'm with you there on the 80%. I'm with you there on maybe even more than that. I truly thought this was going to be done and dusted. Now we have a series on our hands. London, a 3-1 would be, I want to say, not necessarily out of the ordinary. I mean, going into Petro, I'm not sure what the map record is on Petro, but with a 2-1 lead in the series with a momentum swing, I think it's definitely possible if we have to go to that Ramaza, which I really hope we do. I really hope we do. I sort of, that's still where I'm seeing that London 3-2 finish, but still, man, what a crazy series this has been. Again, Petrograd, Hardpoint coming up next. Again, British Call of Duty fans, it's getting a little late. Hope you're enjoying yourselves. And again, for the Canadian Call of Duty fans, I've got no idea what the time is right now in Canada. I presume it's not too dissimilar. We're having a lot of fun. London so far up 2-1 in this series. Our schedule brought to you by the US Army. Don't forget, CDL Game Day presented by Game Fuel. That big matchup coming up next. Chicago Huntsman versus the Los Angeles Optic Gaming. That is going to be a banger. Can OGLA keep the run going? To upset the Huntsman, I mean, that's a huge notch on the belt for them already. To have taken down Florida was unbelievable. If they can do the Huntsman as well, I mean, I forget all about Toronto's fairy tale run through their own home series chance. I mean, this would be something really special.
I mean, yeah, that game 4 is going to be spicy on it. Like, that could not be any better of a way to end this Sunday, right? Not only do you have the org battle against Chicago and Hex versus now Optic Gaming, but also that is an Optic Gaming team that has been going on an absolute tear. So I'm excited to watch that one. But of course, we still have at least one map left to go, if not the 2 to see that game 5 as well. You asked for the map records. It's 4-2 for Toronto and 3-3 for London on St. Petrograd. But again, in my mind, this is just London's opportunity to get that revenge, to get that Ball Don't Lie series out of the way, because in no way do they think they should have lost a few days ago. The loss had to happen in the most heartbreaking fashion possible, but now the storyline is there, the setup for revenge, the story arc is almost complete. They're just one map away from getting it done. And of course, on the flip side for Toronto Ultra, the past 7-8 matches that they have had, the past couple tournaments, it has been about their clutch factor. It has been about turning up when they need to most. And right now, it doesn't get any more important for this. Tournament lives on the line, year on the line. You need 2 maps in a row.
I mean, for either of these teams, it's just you want to go all the way. One of them's got to go down. One of them has to lose out. Toronto Ultra now chance to mean a loss for them. This placement at Champs after the year they've had, could you consider that a relative success? I mean, obviously you want to go all the way, but
it would be fine. You could chalk it up as a success, but it is not going to feel good in the slightest. It will take weeks or months for those guys to bounce back, even if it is overall, when you're looking back at it, an impressive year that the guys have had. But there is no team that is going to be happy about getting eliminated. There is no players that are going to feel good. It is devastating across the board. So pressure's on. This is when you have to clutch up the most. This is when you have to be at your absolute best. And of course, we talk about those favorable sides. London, the advantage in the series, the advantage off the rip.
Just off the rip, we'll see if they can make much of it. It looks like, again, Toronto Ultra, 2 men pushing in there, 1 through River Street, 1 through the bottom of the restaurant, looking to try to overextend. It's going to be Dylan there trying to watch those players, and it is going to be Methods who makes that long flank down to the bottom of the map, and he does lose out to a big kill from Dylan. So the war's being won on 2 fronts right now by the London Royal Ravens. On board with Shawnee, picking up that hardpoint time. Classic now, trying to vie his way forward. Find an entry kill into the hardpoint. Man, fortunately, puts himself in the middle of a London sandwich. Classic Butty, if you will. Now Methods cut down to ribbons as well. London with a lovely opening start here. Retaining spawns and retaining hardpoint control so far. And they keep it going.
And it's really looking like they might be set up just for a full 60 unless Cammy wins the gunfight, maybe gets some scrap. The Ravens are able to bounce with that. And then, of course, yeah, on the flip side, Dylan has been going crazy. He only has 2 kills, but now the 3rd, and they've all been for securing these spawns and locking down this rotation. The perfect opening break for the Ravens.
Perfect break and a chance. I mean, tell me about why those kills were so important from Dylan there. Why it matters so much to not let Toronto get spawns here for seconds.
It's those spawns blocking the back, right? Like, as long as you can keep at that bottom right of the mini-map, that location, the Ravens, even if Toronto is able to get on the flip side, which Classic is trying to do, Ravens are going to be able to consistently spawn closer for the moment until it goes by way of Toronto, who apparently had just enough of the sightline or whatever the hell it was, but now the bounce back is there. You talk about the turnaround on the rotation. Even while Cammy has just found his first kill, they're still inside the point, and just in such a delicate situation where Methods, well, didn't want to fly towards the hill, wants to wait for his teammates who are now spawning a little bit farther away than usual.
Yeah, a little than usual. We are expecting that back alley spawn. They're spawning in the first hardpoint instead. Toronto, though, this gives them I want to say, basically a shortcut. They've basically got an easier route towards the next hardpoint, towards Hazmat building. You know, that big, tall, yellow structure just towards the east of the map. Waskin's shot's now ringing out as he's trying to find a few more here as he pushes in. Kleenex with a lovely grenade. Dylan's making the middle of the map secure, but again, it's that far left-hand side of the map. Position where 6, 9, and 8 are now circling all towards. That is Hazmat building. That's the next hard point. As it pops open, we are going to see full control going the way of Toronto Ultra, and now it's Classic trying to make the middle of the street safe. And again, the MP5, not the weapon he wants for that engagement, nor did Kleenex. He goes down as well. Now London, a chance to push forward.
Of course, well, inside the hill, London, they want to make sure that they can get at least a partial break and at least contest a ton of this time. You don't want to give away a full 60 and give Toronto an opportunity to get back into this game. But already, even though there's 35 seconds left, at least pay attention to the mini-map and keep rotations in the back of your mind, because it might turn into a foot race. But right now, Ravens doing the perfect job. Not only do they get through, but now they have this spawn trap set up in the back. Shawnee able to pick up 2. He's got 13 to his name. Shawnee has been trying all day long. 13 and 2, dropping bombs in the search and destroys constantly. And of course, even though Toronto Ultra bounce back and get that eventual clearance, they're still going to be down by 40 points going into pool hall. And already you see the setup just across the map right now that the Ravens have. They're going to leave one body, that's Waskins, inside of the new hills just to rack up all the time. And everyone else just trying to keep Ultra contained and make sure no one sneaks by.
Make sure no one creeps in. In pool hall, lower right-hand side of the mini-map, a very difficult hard point to get into. And of all players, Waskins now going to be locking that one down. Big man Shawnee, though, 15, I say, and 5 in kills overall with 1 minute and 5 in the hard point. Bance now. No ID. Breaks the back door down, but it's going to be Waskin behind the bar. Serves him up a delicious shot of death there, and he gets the kill. Methods, though, makes the way through the front. Sally takes care of a teammate, but wins the second fight there on point. Oh, my word, Methods. The shots were on. Sadly, not enough to get it done. Too many Ravens there in the bar. They've taken over the pool hall. They're going to get the time as well. 126, leading 56 now. Ravens looking particularly dominant in this elimination match.
It's just been on a tear. I mean, again, they had that small advantage at the start, and they have taken full advantage of everything that's been given to them. Toronto, maybe the second best opportunity they've had all game long outside of Hazmat to try to get a ton of time, to try to get back in this game, but this is not an easy hill to hold at all. You got Cammy that's pushed out on the right side trying to be aggressive, but as he falls, well, it comes down to the gunfights inside the hardpoint. Method's doing the best dance he can to take these players down, and whatever he's shooting at, Kleenex is going to fall him up. He's able to pick up 2 in the feed, and Method is able to stay alive and put shots in as his teammates kill everything around him. Stronghold on Restaurant thus far.
Oh, Chef Tony in Classic. He was the one taking the plates from the kitchen to the tables and really dishing it out there to the Ravens. Beautiful stuff from Toronto here in the restaurant. 30 seconds remaining. A few more pushes here, but you can see the crossfire. There's just no point. Don't go through the back door, gentlemen. It is not safe there. Fans and Classic keeping that one well and truly secure. Still, we go over towards another hardpoint in less than now 15 seconds. It is going to be towards the far south side of the map. Back over towards the loading dock. Scraps finally gets involved. One at the side. The hip fire comes through. He's going to now go toe-to-toe with Methods, but he's the head chef here, baby. He's going to get those kills because Cammy finds a few as well. And now the battle for the next hardpoint rages. London will get there first. They don't have full control of the right-hand side of the map, which they want. Ideally, a player on top of the pool hall just to provide coverage and not allow anyone to slip through, but it's Methods. He's going to break in from the back now, Chance. And while we have the hardpoint in London's hands, and there's the spawns, lower right-hand side, good looks for the Ravens.
Yeah, you can tell though, Toronto knows the bluff. They know that the players are going to be spawning over by pool hall, and they're trying to do 2 things at once: balance the hill and keep the pressure on the flip side. But of course, Ravens are going to be able to keep those spawns. But inside the point, the comeback has been slowly accruing itself for the Ultra. They were down by nearly 100 points before Restaurant, and well, they're only down by about 40 now, and Methods maybe heating up just a little bit. He's on a force free, and of course, came by the way on the cross, only able to pick up 1, but a little bit of an opening relieves a little bit of pressure. These final 15 seconds are going to go towards the Toronto Ultra, who have effectively almost tied this game up.
Done a great job to pull themselves back into this one. Now on backs. Spawns in the middle of the map. Now slowly but surely making his way through the top of this blue building, the top of the ticket hall, trying to put the pressure onto London. Methods now. 1 deep breath. Dive straight back into this one. London with Cafe Courtyard control. They will socially distance, spread themselves out across this small courtyard, trying to watch every possible entrance. Shawnee finds another big one. 24 and 10. Another goes the way of Shawnee there with the kills. As Scraps backs him up. Zero now pushing these players out. It's a good hold, but there is an opening. There is a chance now for Ultra to make their way through the top. And again, it's going to be through the backside here of the hotel. Another avenue they can hit. Methods is going to break on through. There's Scraps. No, sir. We have no rooms available for you. Cammy, what do you want? A 2-bedder with a view of the river? Not a chance, my friend. He goes down as well. That's 4 in a row for Matty Marshall. Can't get the 5th as Vance takes care of him. 20 seconds remain, Chance. And they have locked the cafe down.
And Shawnee, again, by the way, another 5 spree to his name. He is the fried man at champs for this team. And we are now going into a hazmat that we've seen it before, where Toronto win that rotation and get the pressure first. But last time the Ravens were able to break through and chip away 20 seconds. And of course, right now the Ravens are very poised up just to win the rotation and next, just because of how spread out these actual hills are. So if the Ravens can fight on this hill once again, in my mind, that's GG. Toronto have to be nearly perfect on this hill.
It looks like not only are they going to try to be perfect on the hill, Classic will get the kills, but they have to hit that rotation. They have to go towards pool hall, because you're right. You can not win it here. London can still deal a lot of damage, but the win for London is on the horizon. This is it for Toronto Ultra. Do or die. We have to see those white arrows not only hold this position, but make their way towards pool hall. And that is exactly where London is. The writing is on the wall. London is starting to ring out. 0 shots in on the point. That's going to be the break. 20 seconds now go their way. They've got Ultra trapped. There is no escape right now for Toronto Ultra. They have to make their way out through the middle of the map. If London let them slip through, this becomes a little bit more interesting. Otherwise, Chance, it's going to be curtains for Ultra.
Might be curtains, man. That was huge. But actually, Cammy wins a massive one-on-one on the flip side, and now that foot race is starting. Toronto's fighting on the top side, and you got the Ravens at the bottom. The Ravens are going to get there first, but the spawns in the back should end up going the way of Ultra. Those players, though, don't have a lot of time. Again, just 25 seconds, and the Ravens are going to win this game. The pressure is on.
Here we go. Panic on the streets of Petrograd. This is it. Ultra need to make a break. It's going to come to Benjamin Vance through the front methods. Clearing out these players from the backside there of Cafe, but the kills come through. Big Shawnee goes big again for the second. The Flying Scotsman right out of the spawns. But we have a contest. Ravens now battling tooth and nail and claw to try to get Ultra in and off the point. Once again, it's on Dylan at the front door. He's got the back lock down. Classics up next. 5 seconds for the win now. And oh boy, the shots are there. And after a year of heartache, London, it's over. It's a 3-1 massacre. What an upset that was. 3-1 against a squad that should have pushed it the distance chance. The Ravens have done it. And what a hard point, man. What a hard point from London.
Miles, ball don't lie. They lost in the most heartbreaking fashion a few days ago, but revenge is a dish best served cold, and Shawnee has ice flowing through his veins. Throw up the stats as soon as we can, honestly. That man just had about 2 minutes in the hill, most in the lobby, most kills, fewest deaths, double positive, going big. The S&D, I think he dropped 11 kills, double digits. The domination that I'm still mind blown. The Ravens were able to pull off that victory. Shawnee for president, Shawnee for MVP. Just had a massive series to get that revenge. 34-14. The next closest in the lobby to this man was his teammate with 25 kills. And the guy that was closest to him had, what, 40 seconds left in the hill. Shawnee is the same animal, different beast, whatever the hell he is. He has built construction sites on every map in this game, at least for this series. You talk about a hell of a game number 4 performance.
The Flying Scotsman once again gets it done, and commiserations to Toronto Ultra. The fairy tale had to come to an end eventually. I didn't think it would come to the end. It did there with another mythical beast getting the job done, the Loch Ness Shawnee. What a monster he was, truly. But wow, what a series. Ultra, we bid them a fond farewell here at Champs, here at Playoffs. The run is over. For London, it is merely beginning. Now we're in the deep, dark end of this tournament. The biggest dog's still barking. We've got one matchup left today, but chance that there was everything London had to do to win that series. They managed to get it done. We were worried about the domination from London perspective. They managed to win it. They had a huge win in the Search and Destroy, which was absolutely crucial to make sure that the Dom wasn't a do or die situation. The only thing you can sort of say there is that the first hardpoint was so well played by Toronto. That I thought was a bit more of a telling tale of how the rest of the series was going to go. But kudos to London. Everything that went right could have gone right for them, and they still capitalized. Wonderful stuff.
And again, I just can't imagine how sweet that revenge must feel, because when your tournament starts out in the heartbreaking way that it did for the Ravens, to be able to have to start to make this run, to have those Game 5 clutches on Ramaz, where, by the way, Shawnee was going off, it just feels that much better, and the confidence for this team has to be at an all-time high, right? You called it out towards the domination of, like, they have choked away different maps here throughout the course of the entire year, blowing leads that they have 2-0 and getting reverse swept at their own home series. Just a ton of, like, honestly, many tragedies lined up for this team, but now it's the most important tournament, and they are turning up through the losers bracket, making the deep run, and making sure that they can see those final 2 days.
Where the London Royal Bottlers have been recycled, and now they've been refashioned into this like lovely sort of, I don't know, like porcelain something or other. Anyway, our scuff play of the game, the last few moments of that hard point. A chance we've been screaming about it more than we probably should have, but my man Shawnee, when he rocked up here, he showed up on Petrograd, the shots were there, the screams were there, and they turned and said, "Who are you?" And he said, "I am vengeance." The big man got it done.
The darkness in the night. But again, even in this situation, the play call was they have to just chip away at 15, 20 seconds, because right now with 30 seconds on the clock, if Toronto Ultra get the entire thing, then you only have one at 2:08. They're going to be about 10, 15 points behind, and that's good enough that you can contest on full haul and force it over to Restaurant. And of course, we saw Restaurant the first time around. Toronto Ultra basically got a full 60. But as soon as this break comes through, now they run the score up that much higher. Now Toronto Ultra are nowhere near the them. And now on Pool Hall, yes, you can be able to contest for a little bit, but it's very difficult to strip away more than 30-35 seconds. But of course, the rotation is where things got spicy. And Shawnee, of course, the guy leading that charge. He's got 30 kills to his name right now. We know he finishes with 34. And even that specific kill getting on Vance, if Vance is able to sneak through, get in the back, the contest starts right away. But instead, Shawnee makes sure that London Royal Ravens can run it up as quickly as possible and be that first team to get through that loser's bracket. And again, make sure they can see their way to those final 2 days at God Champs.
And make it in that top 4. One more team will join them. It's either the Chicago Huntsmen or Optic Gaming Los Angeles. They will join, of course, the Atlanta FaZe and Dallas Empire there in that top 4 position. A chance still to be crowned 2020 Call of Duty League champions. Man, what a week of games this really has been, mate. We have seen it all. And we've still got one great series left up today. Again, OGLA Huntsman still coming up. Wonderful stuff still. But, mate, I'm almost in disbelief. Almost in disbelief. If not for the fact that, let's face it, that was a fantastically played Hardpoint, fantastically played Domination, wonderful stuff in the Search and Destroy. Royal Ravens deserve the dub. The vengeance was certainly there. I mean, look, it's not a Raven, but it's close enough, right? Look at that little bugger. Look at that, ready to rock and roll. I can't say I'm not slightly proud and a little bit biased, but I'm very, very excited, mate. It's been heartache for the team for most of the year. I think we see Scraps tweet about this quite a lot. He's so unlucky. He's so unlucky. Well, he finally got a little bit of that sweet, sweet karma return there. We saw some beautiful spawns going the way of London there in the Dome as well, and definitely in the Hardpoint chance. I mean, Did anyone see the run coming? I'm not sure. I think the London fans certainly did. They never gave up faith. They never stopped believing. But is it coming home, Chance? Is it coming home? Do you know what that means?
America, so no, I won't get any bias. I think London's, they were not at the top of my list of teams I expected to make a run, but they were not anywhere near towards the top of my list of teams I expected to win that domination against the Ultra, who have looked fantastic at Gunrunner. So every single team, or at least half the teams of this league, have had a point in the year where they start defying expectations. Toronto did it their own home series. Different teams have taken their turns. Maybe it's just the London's turn to just defy those expectations, make this deep run at the end of the year. And again, this is the tournament that matters. All the heartache these players have gone through and faced throughout the entire year, all of that can be absolved with a deep run at Champs.
You can forget all of it. You can forget an entire year, can't you, with a good win here at Champs? But mate, honestly, this is the thing when I think about this one. I was like, my head and my heart in this series, of course, my heart was definitely a little bit more towards my city of birth, London. But my head was like, look, I think there's a very, very good chance that Toronto, the form they've been in recently, I thought they had a little bit more there in them. I thought there was a little bit more damage to be dealt, but not to be had. London, though, certainly looking formidable here as they enter the top 4 here at the CDL playoffs. They will be making it all the way to next weekend. And I think for a lot of fans, it's certainly been a tough one. But now you can say to yourself safely, my boys made it to the top 4. There'll be panic on the streets of London tonight, painting the town all shades of red, that Ravens red. Anyway, we've got a chat now. It's our PlayStation Instant Reaction. Lando is talking to Zero to recap that last banger of a series.
I'm Lando, and joining me is Zero from the Royal Ravens, as it's your instant reaction brought to you by PlayStation. Zero, you guys have done it. You managed to stay alive again. Well, you get the victory versus the old squadron and the subliners, and now you take down the Toronto Ultra in the rematch. Is this the best Royal Ravens that we've seen all year?
100%. Not gonna lie. Everyone knows it on the team. Every event that we played on, we're not playing to the best of our ability, and I don't know what's happened to me the past month or so. Well, I do, I've been grinding, and I knew I've always had the skill there, and everyone's doubted me this whole year, so I can't be dealing with that. So I had to come up and show something. And Sean, my freaking god, like this guy's a fucking animal, bro. He's going off, and that's my guy. Yeah, that's literally it. Yeah, we're playing well, and I'm happy.
Yeah, man, Shawnee is definitely having one crazy performance. He is absolutely going off. Now, you guys obviously win a domination here versus Toronto in the rematch. The first win, really in this moment in the playoffs. You guys come out firing as well, post that victory here in the Game 4. When you guys won that dom here versus the Ultra, did you feel like the win was yours at that point?
I mean, listen, I said I'll try and gas up the boys as much as possible, because they thrive off gas. And, in my career, I'm kind of a vet now, I'm 23 years old. I'm getting there. So, yeah, I hit him with listen, I treat Domination like it's blackjack. You know, we've lost so many hands right now. Like, we're fucking bound to win. And I said, listen, if we win this fucking map, I promise you we'll win the series. And then boom, we just come out and play Domination like a fucking team, and that's how it is.
Listen, man, you and I, right? We had a chance to chat when you first joined the London Royal Ravens. You told me that you weren't for sure if you were actually going to get a chance after the subliner situation. Well, you joined this team, and now you've locked in $450,000 along with the top 4 placement leading into Champs Weekend. How does it feel to do this, and especially with this group of guys?
You know, my subliners, like, all that history is behind me. You know, I wish them nothing but the best. They're still my friends, you know. But end of the day, they dropped me, and you know how Champs is. Champs is those storylines, and I've come back, and you know, when I first joined London, I beat New York. And then the last time we played each other, I beat him again. So thank you to you guys for allowing that to happen. And then with Toronto, my best friend is Ben Bance on there. And, you know, I said to him last night, I said, listen, bro, if I play New York and then I play you, just know I'm coming to win. And he was like, yeah, I know. Like, last time you played us, you fried. And end of the day, you know, that's still my brother. I want him to go far and stuff like that. But, you know, and I don't want him to do better than me, you know. That's just how it is in this scene. And yeah, GG's to them both. You know, I'm happy. I'm also I'm happy that I got to show what I can prove this year, and I'm happy my friend Ben did as well. You know, he's an absolute beast, and I wish him nothing but the best for the future.
Now, I got to ask you one last thing real quick before we let you go. Is there anything that you want to say to the Royal Ravens fan base?
Listen, all right, guys. I know we've looked very, very shaky in the past, but just know this is the best Ravens you've seen, and like I said, I can't promise it's going to get any better because we're playing phenomenal, but I can promise you it's going to stay consistent. So I can't promise I don't win, though. I can't promise that. Like I said, it's blackjack, you know, win some, you lose some. So I don't know, but we're going to work on it, and you know, we'll see you next weekend.
I love it, man. I love it. Well, that was your instant reaction brought to you by PlayStation Zero. Thanks so much for joining me, and congrats again to you and the team on the victory and making it Champs Weekend.
Let's go. Thank you very much. Love you.
Absolutely, man. Well, folks, the day is not over. We've got one more match to close out CDL playoffs, and it is going to be an incredible one. When we come back, it's Optic Gaming Los Angeles taking on the Chicago Huntsmen to find out who's our 4th and final team to make Champs Weekend.